Welcome to Straight Out of Savannah, Talking with Tammi, a podcast that showcases people you may not know who are choosing to use their gifts to inspire and move the planet.
This is Straight Out of Savannah, talking with Tammi. Talking to my guest, Marc Singer. He is an amazing young man. You will love him once you listen to what he has to say. He does amazing good out in the world, and this is one of the reasons why I brought him on the show, because I know that he's changing the planet, and he has such an amazing, interesting story. So, Marc, let the people know who you are and take it away.
Thanks, Tammi. Yeah, my name's Marc Singer, and I'm from the UK, as you can probably guess by my accent. I'm a professional mindset coach and speaker, but as you've just touched on, I have quite a unique and, how can you put it, inspiring or tragic and inspiring, I should say, story, which led me to where I am today. So, yeah. Currently, I work with people one-to-one, but I also do speaking events, workshops, and group coaching and stuff like that. But really, it's my journey which led me here today. I'm authoring my first book at the moment as well, which is pretty much my story, my life story. And so, yeah, I'm
nice. What's the name of it?
To Hell and Back and Then Some. So, yeah, which is pretty much sums up my life, really. Okay. So yeah, in a nutshell, I won't go, I could sit here for 4 hours talking about it, but I'm not going to do that. I mean, basically, I had a bit of a my background, when I was young, I was in gangs and stuff like that, drugs and all that sort of stuff. And long story short, I got my life sorted, but then I ended up in a situation. I was working at a car dealership, and during a Christmas work party, I ended up in a fight, and I got wrongly convicted of assault, and I ended up getting sent to prison with a life sentence, basically reflective of my past. Even though I hadn't committed that offence then, it was basically I was given a prison sentence with no release date. So even though that was in a way a miscarriage of justice, you could say, but my karma, because of the karma before, led me to that position in the first place. So I don't see it as miscarriage of justice on the whole, even though I shouldn't have got convicted of that. However, when I was in prison, I lost all my family quite suddenly and tragically over a very short period of time. And that was literally over 7 months. First my mother, then my father, all very quickly. My mother died of cancer. My dad died while I was on the phone to him. Of a cardiac arrest, and all in all, I lost in 1 year. I lost 31 other family members, animals, things that I love, like my home and stuff like that. So 31 different things, and it nearly killed me. It nearly crushed me, and I took an overdose and nearly died. And anyway, I managed to get myself out of prison. I worked bloody hard to get out. To prove that I was innocent and prove that I was not just innocent, but I wasn't a threat to society or anything like that. Anyway, whilst in there, I started mentoring young kids who had been in gangs and stuff like that. And I sort of realised that I had an aptitude to work with people and get the best out of people. And I also, so when I come out of jail, I started getting coaching myself to deal with all of the stuff that I'd been through. I'd had counselling, I'd had therapy, but none of them were really working for me. So coaching was the only thing that really sort of brought the best out of me, started getting me back to where I wanted to be. And then it just twigged, really, because I decided that I wanted to become a coach myself. So I decided to research it, and I found IPEC, the Institute of Professional Excellence in Coaching, which is based in America. And they're the top school, basically, I could find. And I invested everything into that to become a professional coach. And 2 years on, I set up my business, started my own business, fully graduated. And now that's what I do. I work with people using the core energy process, which is what they teach you, which helps you remove all the blocks and barriers to success in your life and create the life that you choose and want to experience, basically. It's without the barriers. So I work with clients to basically optimize energy in every area of their life so that they're performing at their very best all of the time.
Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome. So let's go back to the prison sentence.
Yeah.
So with the prison
I'd
sentence,
rather not, thanks. But
right?
So let's go back to it.
No, we don't want to go back.
Funny enough, joking aside, guess where I'm going tomorrow? I'm actually going back to the prison tomorrow, but this time to coach two prisoners. No, I am doing a speaking event there, but not tomorrow. Tomorrow's just, there's two prisoners who are on the verge of getting out, and they've asked me to go back and coach them. So yeah, it's just random.
That is powerful. That is powerful. So you actually know, because you're on the other side. That is that, and you
exactly. That's side. Why. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I've been through it.
So what? Okay, so when you were you working with a group of people or anybody to get your innocence, or how did that work for you?
What, whilst in there? Well, I had to basically, the type of sentencing, I mean, it's different in America. It's a separate sort of way we're sentencing it. I mean, with this sentence, basically, if you've been in trouble before, which I had when I was younger, and you get arrested for a similar sort of offence in the future, sort of thing, then what it's now been outlawed, this sentence, by the way, because it's inhumane. They were giving it out. It's called an IPP, and it's an indeterminate public protection. And basically, what it is they give you a prison sentence with no release date, and you've got a minimum time that you have to serve, but you have to basically demonstrate and prove to them that you're no longer, not only will you not that you're no threat to society, but that you're never going to offend again. Now, that's pretty much virtually impossible. I mean, how do you prove that you're never going to offend again? You just can't. It's not possible to do that. So, as a consequence, there's thousands of people languishing in there who've got no chance of getting out. And thankfully, about 2 years before I did get out, the law got changed, and they lowered the release barrier threshold, so that you got an opportunity to prove that you were able to, because I did appeal my sentence when I first went in, but they just threw it out. They weren't interested. And so I had even though I didn't do it, they're not interested. So the way this is another difficult thing I had to contend with, is the fact that in order to get out, you've got to admit to things that you didn't do. And not just admit to it, but take full responsibility for it. So how do you do that?
Yeah.
Now, the way I did it is because I sort of took responsibility for the past and my past beliefs, my past actions, my past attitudes. So by telling myself and understanding that, yes, in the past, I'd done some crap things. Had I not done those, then the karma that I put out into the universe wouldn't have come back to bite me now. So essentially, that's how I saw things, because I was telling myself, I opened this door to myself, because the way I see it in life is you manifest your own reality. So if you putting out whatever your thoughts are, and when I ended up in that fight, which led me to that prison sentence, I was in a bad place. Psychologically, I was stressed from work. I was pushing myself too hard at work. My energy was very low. I was not very happy. I was drinking a lot and stuff like that. So I wasn't in a good place mentally. So that's naturally why I ended up in that scenario. Otherwise, it wouldn't have happened. So I took responsibility for my part in that action, but not obviously for the things that I didn't do. But in the end, I had to just basically work my ass off to get out. And by that, I mean, you have to do course after course after course after course to show that you're not a danger, basically. So they call them offending behaviour courses here in England. And I had to do, I don't even know how many I did in the end, about 30 odd. And you have to have psychological assessments regularly, every couple of months, and all of this sort of stuff to assess whether you're safe to be released, basically. And after 6 years, I eventually got out. And so once I got out, but to be honest with you, and this is how crazy life is after losing my parents and my family, that was after 2 years. that actually, in a mad way, helped me because of the way I coped with it, dealt with it, and showed responsibility throughout that period, rather than going mad and, you know, doing everything, you know, doing things that were destructive. Mm-hmm. Although I did have an overdose, but I mean, I didn't do anything over the top. It was they sort of saw that as the fact that I could take responsibility. You know, I was taking responsibility for all of that. If I could go through all of that and hold it together, then I would do the same in society. And that's what's, you know, and I won an award 2 weeks ago from the like local authorities for turning my life around. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Awesome. That's powerful. That had to make you feel so good, especially since
it does. But you say that, I mean, I've always had a problem taking what do you call it? Accolades, like, you know, people compliment me. It's the you get the imposter syndrome going on in there sometimes. So yeah, it's something I've been working on. That, you know, it's not always so I don't always feel comfortable with it, and I think that's due to the past. I mean, obviously you still have that element of acceptance. You have to accept the past. It's not always easy to accept everything about what happened in the past and your part in that. So I think sometimes when people do say well done and all of that sort of stuff, you're like, oh God, like that. If I'm getting used to it.
You got to, because the thing is, you know, when you receive those things, it does something to you, right?
Yeah, of course. It builds you up, makes you feel much more confident.
Yeah. And not in an ego sort of way, hopefully.
No.
No, I mean,
yeah, well, it's confidence, isn't it? It's about self-esteem, and exactly that. I mean, because at the end of the day, when you've been through what I went through, your confidence does take a big kicking, and your self-esteem does as well. So, and what happens is, and this happened to me recently, you block off all your emotions to get through it. And as soon as, and I had this little analogy on one of my shows the other night, because I said. I put all my emotions in a little suitcase and put it away in the cupboard and leave it there. And every now and then I'll go and get that out. And a couple of occasions after I got out of jail, you start getting feelings for somebody and then it's not returned or whatever else. And you get your feelings out or your emotions out, and then you rush to put them back because you're so wary of being hurt again. And I think that's when you've been through that for so long, it's natural for your self-esteem to be quite low. Because you're constantly, so you're constantly aware of not worried as such, but aware of the possibility that you could get hurt again when you've been through so much hurt or loss. So so that takes time to heal as well. I mean, but like I said, all of these things, the way I'm working at the moment, the help I'm helping with other people, it's all positive, and it's just all moving in the right direction. So you can't fail to feel good about that, but it's a case of you know, getting used to it a bit.
Yeah, and then the other thing too is, you know, other people look at us different from how we look at ourselves.
Exactly.
You know, so
totally.
Like
exactly.
People see you as this amazing coach and you know, all this kind of stuff, but you just see yourself as Marc.
Do you know what? Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. I mean, I've had so many friends say that to me. You're so amazing. You're this amazing coach. You're brilliant and everything else. And I say, yeah, I can be an amazing coach, but when it comes to coaching me, I'm not that great.
Well, yeah.
I'm just a normal guy, you know what I mean?
That's why coaches have coaches.
Exactly.
You know,
and I've said this to so many people.
I mean, you think about it. If you were a massage therapist, could you massage yourself?
No, you're right. And it's exactly right. And I've said this to so many friends, like, you know, because they don't really understand coaching. And I said, I've got to coach myself. And they're like, why? You know, because we need coaches, because everybody who wants to be the best version of themselves needs a coach. And, you know, that's exactly what they're for.
Exactly. And coaches are no different. I tell people I'm a healer, but I have a healer.
You need it.
I got some people that, you know, I can call and say, you know, I'm in need.
Yeah, it's exactly right. And because we're not perfect. I mean, you can try and self-coach, and I do a lot of the time, but it's not the same. It's different when you've got someone else challenging you, pushing you, getting you to answer. You know, it's the way you are. I mean, with me specifically, I mean, I don't tell people what to think. I ask them and get them to come up with the answers themselves. But it's getting them to think in certain ways, getting them out of that energy that's not helping them move forward, and getting them to an energy that does help them move forward and stuff like that. But that's not always easy to do when you're doing it yourself.
Yes,
And you know, you can know all the tricks in the book, but it doesn't always work like that.
Yes, yes, that's the thing. It's like, as you are able, since you're on the outside, it's so much easier for you to see, you know, what's going on with other people.
Totally agree.
Because you're on the outside.
Yeah.
You know?
And I've always been good at that, even before I become a coach, to be honest with you, Tammi. I mean, I funny enough, I was writing about this in my book earlier. It's something I identified as an early age, that I could read people, not read people's minds, but read people and understand what made people tick. In those days, I used to use it for a negative, you know, but now I did. I mean, if someone was a bully or whatever, and they said something nasty about me, I'd turn around and pick holes in them until, you know, I could say, well, you're this, that, and the other. But now I use it positively because I use it to build people up and empower people, make people feel good about themselves and get the best out of people. So it's using those talents for the better now. So I didn't realize at an early age that I was any different to anyone else. I thought everybody could do this, but it's not the case. A lot of people, you know, can't read other people and situations and stuff like that.
Yes, and that's exactly the reason why you get the compliments that you get, because everybody can't do what you do, right? Everybody can't do what you do.
I'm getting used to it. I mean, listen, I'm 46. The last time I won an award, I was about 10 years old. I won a bronze award for throwing a cricket ball at school, and in the last 2 weeks, I've won 2 awards. One for turning my life around, and one for what was the award? Entrepreneur of the month.
Nice.
For a local networking group. So they say these things come in 3. So now I want another one.
So now you're ready.
Yeah. So, hang on, we're still, No, I'm getting used to it, because at the end of the day, I'm not going to be happy until I'm at the top of my profession anyway. So, you know, if that's the case, I'm very determined and driven to be the best I can. And not only me, but help people become the best they can. You know, I'm quite diligent with that. You know, I always say it to clients when I take a new client on. Don't commit. We won't work together unless you're 100% committed to do the work with me. Because if you're not, there's no point us working together, because this is not a half-hearted thing. I will get you where you want to be. I will get you there quickly. But you've got to do the work. And if you're not, because the need and the timing is paramount. The need is often there, always, but the timing might not be, for whatever reason, money, focus, whatever it may be. So, I take a lot of care to make sure that the client is in a place at the start of the relationship where they're going to be 100% committed to do the work. Because if they're not, then I'll shake their hand and say, get in touch whenever you are ready, you know, because it's not for me. It's important. And but once they do work with me, then I work around the clock to get them where they want. Not literally, but literally.
Let's say a whole night.
Yeah, no, not like midnight. Yeah, but saying that though, I do get calls at midnight sometimes from clients. But I mean, God knows, just asking questions and stuff. But I mean, I will be very, you know, because it's not just me coaching. You see, I do a lot of work in between. Well, the client does a lot of work, I should say, in between the sessions, because they have a workbook. They're learning a whole new philosophy and way of being. They're having to change things that they've lived their entire life thinking. So it's not always easy for them to do that. So you need to be very hands-on with it and help them every step of the way, so that, you know, there's going to be times when they're not going to get it. They're not going to understand it, and they're going to get frustrated and everything else. So I have to be there to help them, coach them through that. And obviously, you know, just help them step by step, bit by bit, build the mindset that they want. And once they've created that mindset, or they started to create that mindset, so then it's a case of literally just creating where you want to go, step by step. We work that road until you get there. And it works. It works. It's literally it's worked for me because I've had the same coaches, IPEC coaches, and using the same process. It's certainly, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you now if it hadn't been for the coaching, basically.
So do you coach a lot of formerly incarcerated people, or do you
know what? Funny enough, tomorrow's the first time I had a meeting with them. No, most of my clients are professionals, normal people, just workers. General. I tend not to work with, when I started out, my message was a bit mixed, I think, my niche. And I started getting a lot of people who were suicidal and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which is not what I work with. And I don't work with depressed people. That's therapy. So obviously I'm not qualified to do that. So I would have to refer them to whoever. So I had to refine my message a little bit so that people, and again, friends got confused. People would say, well, I haven't got any problems, but if I know anyone who's got any problems, I'll send them to you. And I was like, well, don't, because I don't like to work with people who've got problems. I like to work with people who want solutions. So that's what I want. I don't want the people who are just going to be miserable. I want people who want to build something. So obviously people are down in the dumps or whatever, but that's different. But so I had to sort of refine my message a little bit, and now I'm sort of I'm working more so with people. Funny enough, mainly men, and I think the reason it's not that I only work with men. I work with women as well, but a lot of men come to me because they see someone who's a down-to-earth, normal guy who's been through some crap in his life, who's not this sort of university-educated sort of guy who's going to preach to you, but he's going to just listen to you and not judge you, not patronize you, and see you as you are, who you are. And that draws a lot of regular guys into me who are maybe feeling they can't go somewhere else because they can't open up to those sort of guys, So I get a lot of that. But there was regarding the prison thing. Well, I've been there once before to set up the actual talk that I'm going to be doing, which is going to be in about, I don't know exactly when, it's going to be a month or so. It's down to them to arrange it. But tomorrow, I'm specifically going back to just have a one-to-one with two different guys who are on the verge of getting out and a bit up in the air about it. So what I've offered the prison is, I said, I'm going to offer like any of the guys who see my talk. They have the opportunities for 2 free coaching sessions when they get out of jail. And that will help them get back on their feet for a start and give them some direction mentally.
Yes.
So I can then help them get some clarity about the direction they want to go and get rid of any barrier blocks that are going on at the time to help them move forward, like fear or limiting beliefs, assumptions, interpretation, anything that's going on that's stopping them seeing things clearly. I can get rid of that quite quickly and then help them then decide which way they want to go in. And I can do that in 2 sessions. But obviously after that, if they want to work with me full time, then it's a different matter. I work at a 3.5-month program with them. That's what I tend to do. So it's not like I don't really work one-to-one, one session at a time. I do a program of 3.5 months. And that's overall, it's 9 sessions. Plus I do an attitudinal assessment at the start of that, which assesses the client's energy when they're doing well and their energy when they're under stress as well. And it gives us an insight into which areas they want to work on in order to increase, optimize their level of energy in all situations, really. So that's what I do. So overall, it works like 10 sessions, including the debrief for the attitudinal session. So like I said, I can do one-on-one sessions, just look one at a time. It's not that I don't do that, but it doesn't really achieve much because if you're helping someone with a long-term philosophy, just having a one-off session, it will increase their energy for that day, and then maybe 2 or 3 days after, they'll walk away and then they'll be back to square one again because they've not made any proper changes. So I help the client embed that new philosophy so that they're continually doing it and they're always moving forward.
I agree. I actually had a discussion with a friend about this very same thing. I said, I'll do one-off sessions, but not often because they don't do a whole lot. You
exactly.
You shift the energy for that minute in that time.
That's it.
And then, then they go.
Quick fix, isn't it?
Yeah. It's like you put a Band-Aid on it.
Yeah.
Here's
doesn't do anything.
And go ahead on and go. And then the Band-Aid comes off, and then what happens?
Exactly. See, I mean, my approach is more holistic. I mean, so you get a lot of coaches out there who might say, like, a client will come in and say, well, I'm looking for a new job. Okay, what we'll do is and they'll just go through the basics of that, look at the surface of it, and they'll say, well, this is what you need to do to get the new job, and this is how you're going to do it, blah blah blah. But I won't look at that. I'll look at the reason why you want the new job, and we'll go beneath the surface, and we'll look at the whole thing, and then and it's often something that you never even thought of. That's the issue, not rather the job, it's something else, and so on. And again, it comes down to looking at every area of your life. There's like 6 different core areas. There's like emotionally and mentally, physically, spiritually, socially, environmentally as well. I can't remember, I said that already. Anyway, and yes,
different places.
Yeah, I mean, and if one or more of those areas aren't functioning or working for you at any given time, your energy drops right across the board. And then what happens is you don't perform at your best at any given opportunity, any given area. So learning how to optimize your energy in all of those 6 core areas gives you the opportunity to then perform at your best all of the time, because then you work on strategies and plans. So, for instance, like something emotion is not working for you, we'll find out what that is. Then we'll break it down into little bite-sized pieces, and we'll work around that. So whatever it is we need to do to get your energy back up to the level that you want it to be, we'll do that, and we'll work through that, and we'll start on step-by-step process to get you there. So firstly, identifying where your energy is low is the first step, obviously. But 9 times out of 10, if you're doing a one-to-one, like a one-off session with a coach, how the hell are you going to do that? You're not. You're just going to walk away, like you said, with a quick fix, and then you feel good for the day. It's like going to the gym. You'll go to the gym, you feel good for a couple of hours after. You'll go home, you'll sleep, and you'll feel the same as you did the day before. If you want something long term, if you really want to be performing at your best permanently all the time in any circumstance, then you really need to invest in a coach and a process that works.
Yes,
because again, there's coaches out there who are charlatans, who are not really
find one that agrees with you. Yes.
Yeah, you have to have the relationship right as well. Yeah. Yes. So, but it's important, that is.
It really is. So if you had one thing to say, one thing that bothers you and not having to do with your business or your life,
right?
What would that be?
Bothers me. Okay. In what you mean? Lose my energy in some way? Yeah.
Let me go. Let me explain. So one of the things that I said when I was asked that question was, why do we have to go back in the future? And why does everything have to be, why you got to be riding on horses and all this stuff in the future? I'm talking about like The Walking Dead and all these shows, apocalyptic shows.
Okay.
Why do we have to do that? Why can't we go like the Jetsons into the future, and not back in the past?
Yeah. Okay.
So that's the kind of question I'm looking at. Like, something is happening out here, maybe that you just don't understand.
Well, I don't know about I don't understand. I think I do understand why. But do you know what bothers me, annoys me more than anything? Well, it's the way we live in a world at the moment, and I think it's the same in America as it is in England, where you turn the television on, it's just nothing but fear and crap. And it drives me mad. I've stopped watching the news now. I don't watch anything current affairs. All the programs I watch are old programs, or not old programs like you just, but just happy stuff or history stuff or things like that. But I can't watch any of it because it's just hate and anger, and this one's having a go at this one, and and it's all fear-based as well. And I think that the consequence of that generally within society is it's creating a very, very, I don't know, I mean, for the people who actually take the time to watch this stuff, fearful society. Everyone's worried about everything all the time. Everyone's scared to be themselves. No one's living their own lives. And I think we're losing individuality in life. And I think people are scared to be themselves these days. And that frightens me, because I think individuality is everything. And we're all unique, amazing people. But we're scared to be so sometimes. And I think that's what frightens me more at the moment, when I see the way society is becoming. And I blame the media a lot with that. I do. I really, not just, I just think it's a long, and like I said, it's just the same in the UK as it is in America, where it's just, you turn the telly on, it's just full of divisive stuff and rubbish. Yeah, it's just... And I'm tired of it, really, to be honest with you. And it does drain. There's been times when you wake up in the morning, you feel really happy, in a great frame of mind. You'll go and flick the telly on, and you're like that. Straight away, your energy just drops.
I stopped.
It's horrible, isn't it?
I didn't even have it.
Yeah, I know. It's been about how long now? About 3 or 4 months since I stopped watching the news, and ever since then I've been happy. I don't think of it anymore. I watch the sport, I watch the History Channel. I don't watch the news. It's just not worth it. And because there's an agenda, isn't there? It's just like there's an agenda, and it's all to do with this COVID as well.
Yes. Agreed. All right. So
I hope that answered your question anyway.
Yes. So is there a person that you're looking for? Describe your ideal client.
Oh, client. I thought you meant ideal client. Right. My ideal client at the moment would probably be a man. I do work with women as well, so I wouldn't say be put off if you're not, but I generally like to work with men who are probably in the 30 to, I would say the large range is 30 to 55, but around about the 40s is probably, because a lot of men in their 40s feel they haven't got people to turn to. And I work with a lot of men in that age group who may not feel comfortable working with people from a certain background, and who may identify more with someone who's been there, seen it, done it, and lived that lifestyle, and feel that they're not going to be judged, not being patronized, and who basically want to get somewhere in life and give up just existing and start actually living their lives.
That sounds powerful. All right. So let the people know where they can connect with you.
Yeah. Okay. So you can connect with me on, I do a live show every Wednesday on Facebook on my Marc Singer coaching. And it's, by the way, just in case anyone gets it wrong, my name is spelled Marc. So it's Marc Singer coaching. On Facebook. You can watch my show there live every Wednesday. You can also get me on Instagram. I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on YouTube, I'm on TikTok, I'm on all of those. Or you can just contact me directly. And my address there, or email address, I should say, is contact@marcsingercoaching.solutions. So you can contact me there. And if you want to book an appointment, feel free to contact me and I will get in touch with you.
Awesome. So Marc, this has been a pleasure. I've truly enjoyed this interaction.
It's been a pleasure.
I'm super grateful that you've decided to come on the show, because this has been something, because what you do is so needful. We need people that understand the culture of prison, because that's a whole nother culture, and we need people that understand that, and that can translate and help people to move forward from that, because you have a lot of people that are like you. They've taken it and they've run with it and they've moved forward and done things in their life. I said, then you have
some really bright people in there.
Yeah, that's
the sad thing. There's some very intelligent kids in there. Kids who have been in there since they were 13, 14. There's so much to offer life. So yeah,
exactly. And that's powerful, because when I saw your story, I actually found you on Facebook.
Did you?
I did. I was like, oh my God, I think I saw one of your Wednesday things. And I was like, oh my God.
I'm pleased you did.
Right? I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. And I said, he needs, to get out there, because people need him. Yeah. He needs to be seen, because people need what you have.
Hopefully a few more people will come to me because of this as well. I mean, like I said, I hope so.
the thing is you've got, just like you said, you've got, you know, people that, especially men that have gone to prison when they were young, and they've been in prison like all their life almost. And then they want to let them out and they have no idea, you know, even about the world and things like that.
No, even 2 or 3 years, it makes a massive difference. Never mind a life sentence. I'll tell you.
Yes, exactly. So I'm super excited, you know, and I'm super grateful for the work that you're doing.
Thank you.
I'm so grateful that you decided to come on here and just talk about it, because, you know, a lot of people don't know about what it is that you do. And a lot of people probably are looking for you, is what I would gather, because especially I think that maybe even like prisons should think about, you know, bringing you in and letting you come in and coach these guys right before they get out.
I'm going to see if they pay me tomorrow. If they pay me to do it, I'm happy to do it.
That's what I was going to say.
No, I'm doing it voluntary, to be honest with you. I'm doing it. I'm joking. I'm doing it voluntary, but you know, if it would be a good idea long term, definitely.
I think so.
Like you said, there's a lot of people in there who need it and would benefit. A lot of
people would benefit, and I think it would be something that, you know, the prison system should think about and should take up and say, hey, you know, we're going to have this guy to come in and talk to our people that are leaving and all that. You know, if they really cared about recidivism and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
So,
and well, let's see. Hopefully that will come about.
Yeah, I can see that for you. Yeah. So again, thank you for joining me. We're going to get off here. Mark, it's been a pleasure. We'll definitely have to continue to connect and do some other things.
Definitely, 100%.
I have some stuff in mind that came to me, and I'll actually get it to you. But thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Tammi. It's been an absolute pleasure, and I've loved being on the show. So thank you very much.
Straight out of Savannah. Thank you so much, and it's been our pleasure. Bye now.
Bye-bye.
I know you've been blown away with the amazing value here today. Now go out and inspire the planet. And be sure to send us a message when you're ready to come talk about it on Straight Outta Savannah, Talking with Tammi.